Okay, so a lot of people ask me how to do wireframes and user flows, and these are the tools that I use. This is like a template. This is a pencil, like a drafter's pencil. This is a nice bold ink pen. Here's a fine point ink pen for details. Here's a 30% cool gray for shading. And here's just a red pen for annotations. Okay, so what I'll do is, if I really want to be like fine-tuned, I'll use this template here. If I really have like a picky client that wants me to start out like very finite, very concise, and I really want to make a good impression. So like if you're having clients that are upwards of, let's say, 100K project, you might want to look into one of those. But for our purposes here today, I usually start off with this like sitemap wire flow kind of thing, where I'm just going like, here's the home page, right? And I know that's really hard to see with pencil in this setting, so I'll come in and I'll just do black, like very bold, and see how much easier that is to see. And we'll have an about page, maybe we'll have a blog, maybe we'll have a contact page, right? The basic website, let's say. Okay, and so there I've created my sitemap or information architecture. And you could say like, Nate, that could have been red. Yeah, sure. But then I want to have like this basic flow from one page to the next, like a very logical flow. And that's sort of like a user task diagram, which I'll do something like this. I'll say, here's our home page or landing page. Then here is the, whatever page we want to send people to. We can say like how it works. And this you can usually see in Google Analytics as a behavior flow. So you just emphasize from the home page to this page to increase the percentage conversion ratio from home to that page will show that this is a decreased percentage in bounce rate, which means that it's a high quality page. And so we'll go to the how it works page, and maybe from there we would want people to actually contact us or sign up, or whatever our call to action is. And then we'll measure again the percentages of people that get to that page, and then the people that actually do this action. And now this action is going to be a different shape, right? Like we would say something like submit. And this way, this is off screen, but we could even have a thank you page this sends people to. And again, you'd say that, and you'd say something like thank you. And then you'd also want to measure perhaps a conversion ratio for referral. Just things like share, right? And so they would be able to share in a multitude of ways. Okay, so already we talked about like sitemap, task flow. And next, I would typically do some kind of wireframing. And by wireframing, I really mean like coming in and saying, well, here's the basic desktop layout, right? And a lot of people rush to do that layout. However, I know from experience that the best designs, the most feasible designs, the the easiest to implement designs, and the better user experiences that are simple all come from this technique called mobile first. So I'll actually come in and I'll do, portrait mode. Now I know, like we'll call this home. That's the home page. This is our call to action, how it works. And here I'll put like maybe the logo, the page title as the H1, and then I would also put like an H2 here of the headline, like the unique selling proposition, and then I put some detailed benefits here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, when they click that, it's just like we saw above. But now I'm going to say, okay, now we're going to have a back button. We're going to say you are at how it works, right? And then we'll say something like a headline here. And then perhaps we will have a step 1, a step 2, and a step 3. And we'll just say, contact us. Right? Now we're on the contact page. Again, we could go back to how it works, but now we're on contact, and this is like a little breadcrumb on top here, like a breadcrumb trail. Okay, and now we're on the contact page. So again, I'll have some kind of like really great headline proposition here, value proposition. Why am I filling this form out? Down here, I'm going to have the send button or submit button, and in here I'll have like 3 form fields: name, email, and message. Right? Now, when we send, we'll go to a thank you page. We'll say our value proposition, and then we'll say 1, share on Facebook, 2, share on Twitter, 3, watch video, maybe a YouTube video or something. Right? Okay. And so that's like just taking people through these like through this user experience, okay, of interacting with any website. So it's sort of generic, but you get the picture now. So I would come back in and say like, okay, let's add some, shading here, just to give it a really nice kind of, layered effect. Right? And perhaps I would come in with different things. But that's really what I want to show you guys about site mapping, task flow, wireframe. Okay? And so now you can go through and say like, hey, I can plug in the content and it can create this user experience on a prototyping software and test it on people to see if they make it through. Find out what's preventing people from going on each thing. We may need more content here, before we get to contact page. On contact page, we may just need the email address only, and we'll continue that conversation sort of offline or in dark social on email. Okay. on the thank you page, we may only want one of these items at a time. Share Facebook, share Twitter, right? And so that's really it in a nutshell, the beginning of sort of UX design. And next we would go to UI design. Thank you.